Canonical Doctrines in Remedial Law. Bar favorite plus short sample question plus complete suggested answer. 2014 to 2024 trend. Here's the complete, clean version. This format is now. Doctrine. Legal basis. Short bar style question. Suggested model answer. Top 10 canonical doctrines in remedial law, with sample questions and suggested answers. 1. Due process principle. Legal basis, 1987 Constitution, Art. 3, Sector 1. Sample bar question. Question: what are the basic requirements of procedural due process? Suggested answer. The basic requirements are 1. Notice, and 2. Opportunity to be heard before judgment is rendered. Due process ensures fairness by giving parties a reasonable chance to present their side. 2. Doctrine of hierarchy of courts. Legal basis, Santiago v. Vasquez, GR number 99289. Sample bar question. Question: why should parties observe the hierarchy of courts? Suggested answer. Parties must observe the hierarchy of courts to prevent congestion in higher courts and respect the competence of lower courts. A direct recourse to a higher court without special reasons may result in dismissal. 3. Doctrine of primary jurisdiction. Legal basis, Agro-Commercial Security v. ICA, GR number 103250. Sample bar question. Question: explain the doctrine of primary jurisdiction. Suggested answer. When a case involves specialized matters requiring the expertise of an administrative agency, the court should defer to the agency's decision first before exercising jurisdiction. 4. Doctrine of exhaustion of administrative remedies. Legal basis, Republic v. LeCap, GR number 158253. Sample bar question. Question: what is the doctrine of exhaustion of administrative remedies? Suggested answer. A litigant must exhaust all remedies available in administrative agencies before seeking judicial intervention. Failure to exhaust remedies is grounds for dismissal, unless exceptions apply, e.g., pure legal question, urgency, futility. 5. Finality, immutability, of judgment. Legal basis, De Guzman v. Sandiganbayan, GR number 103276. Sample bar question. Question: state the doctrine of finality of judgment and its exceptions. Suggested answer. Once a judgment becomes final and executory, it can no longer be modified or reversed, except for 1. Correction of clerical errors. 2. Nunc pro tunc entries, and 3. Void judgments. 6. Residential judicata. Legal basis, Rule 39, Sector 47, Rules of Court. Sample bar question. Question: what are the elements of residential judicata? Suggested answer. The elements are 1. The former judgment is final. 2. It was rendered by a court having jurisdiction over the subject matter and the parties. 3. It is a judgment on the merits. 4. There is identity of parties, subject matter, and cause of action. 7. Real party in interest rule. Legal basis, Rule 3, Sector 2, Rules of Court. Sample bar question. Question: define a real party in interest. Suggested answer. A real party in interest is the party who stands to be benefited or injured by the judgment or is entitled to the avails of the suit. 8. Doctrine of judicial review. Legal basis, Angara v. Electoral Commission, GR number 45081. Sample bar question. Question: what is the doctrine of judicial review? Suggested answer. Courts have the power to determine the constitutionality of laws, treaties, presidential decrees, orders, proclamations, and administrative rules. If found unconstitutional, the court can declare them null and void. 9. Doctrine of mootness. Legal basis, David v. ᒪᗩᗯကိᕼᑎOᗯ, GR number 171396. Sample bar question. Question: when is a case considered moot and academic? Suggested answer. A case becomes moot when there is no longer an actual controversy between the parties, and a judgment would have no practical legal effect. 10. Prohibition against forum shopping. Legal basis, Rule 7, Sector 5, Rules of Court. Sample bar question. Question: define forum shopping and its test. Suggested answer. Forum shopping occurs when a party repetitively avails of multiple judicial remedies involving the same parties, facts, and issues to obtain a favorable judgment. The test: whether final judgment in one case would amount to residential judicata in another. This format is now. Doctrine. Legal basis. Short bar style question. Suggested model answer.